So today we got like a community day. So once a season we play. The players go and coach a bunch of kids at one of the Warwickshire clubs, and then we play like a T20 against a club or a league representative team. So a bit of fun today, mate. As well as jumping on a call with you. How are you going?
Right. I'm good, mate. I'm very good. It's my last few days in Australia until the start of October, actually. So
How is it?
pretty good. I'm pretty keen to get on a plane and come over to the other side of the world, which should be quite nice. So I'm just wrapping work up in here at the moment. Make sure me stuff's ready to go. Take the reins while I'm gone, and yeah, keen to go on a bit of work trip, bit of a holiday as well, and should be good.
So just remind me, you're coming over here, and then where are you going after that?
So first I'm going to Bali, and then from Bali, which I'm actually linking up with the Indonesian cricket team. Actually,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm in a group chat with the coach at the moment, so I need to just to tee it up properly. But yeah, plan is to go do a day with them or an afternoon with them, or catch up with the coach and do something like that. So that'll be pretty cool.
Was it in Bali?
And then, yeah, he lives in Seminyak, so just around the corner from where I'm staying.
So I toured Bali. I toured Indonesia, and I couldn't believe my luck because I've been to Bali before, not for cricket. And we did Japan and Indonesia. Did Japan, into Jakarta, played a few games, and then went to Bali. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. And I was really surprised to learn that they had a cricket ground there. Um, and they're okay actually. They had this one guy. He pinged it. He actually threw the ball, but he threw it pretty quickly as a bowler. But I was really surprised to hear. So I wonder if it's changed since then. That'll be good, wouldn't it?
It's wild. I can't believe it. Like we've always gone like to Bali for like the end of season cricket trips and that to have a bit of fun. I mean, we'd sort of joke about like having a cricket team there, and then just through like social media and that, someone like reached out to me and was like talking to me. He actually plays cricket over in Bali. And I thought it was like taking the piss out of me. I'm like, there's no way,
Yeah,
no, they play cricket in Bali, but they actually do, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, yeah.
that's stop one for me, and then I'll be in the north of England for about a week or so. And then, so I'm staying, I think, between Manchester and Leeds,
Yeah,
uh, in a little country village.
nice.
And then, yeah, it's pretty cool. And then then I'm going to Switzerland, watch the Diamond League Athletics finals, World
Brilliant.
Champs.
Brilliant.
Cool. Going to Barcelona, Italy for the Grand Prix,
Oh, blimey.
Croatia, back to London, in London for a little bit, and then Oktoberfest in Munich, and then let's see what happens from there.
Oktoberfest, that'll be a quiet one. That'll be a quiet one in Munich, won't
I think so. I think we're pretty quiet. Yeah, 100%. Especially catch up with mates who,
it?
who are living over in London, haven't seen him for a while. So I'm sure we're pretty quiet.
Yeah. Right, I've got a couple of things. I've got a couple of things I wouldn't mind kind of chatting about. It's all based around one day stuff because it's pretty relevant. Relevant for what we're in the middle of. So, as you know, we're pretty fortunate because we've got the players are fortunate. They got the resource. They got the coaches, food on tap. They don't always make good choices, by the way. But um, when we talk about like one day stuff, what do you think a bowler's kit bag should include? So, from my point of view, it's making sure your spikes are good and your boots are healthy and you got the right socks and kit and all this kind of stuff. But from an S&C point of view, what do you think a bowler's kit bag should include in order for them to prep well? And I'm also kind of looking at in between spells, what could they have in their bag that they could have on the boundary that they could do in between balls and all this kind of stuff? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. First thing when I think of for one day is just like high intensity, and like it's kind of like a you're almost like, yeah, red ball cricket is almost like a marathon. Your 20 cricket is like a 100-meter sprint. This is kind of like a 400-meter run where it's just like, it's almost like the hardest, where it's just like high intensity, but you're almost like sprinting it the whole time as well. So I reckon, like, as you said, your preparation sets up everything. If you're not physically prepared, then it's pretty hard to perform well. So, things before cricket, like a spiky ball or a foam roller and like TheraBands and things like that for your activation, release to get everything going. And then I'm massive on like having med balls and that as well. Like
Oh yeah,
especially having a fine leg, do some like windmill slams and things of that nature to warm up your obliques and the or you can like throw them overhead, do like cake tosses and things like that to fire up your nervous system as well. Um, I reckon a med ball at the third man finally is like elite just to get yourself helping you stunt your action, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, with your activation release stuff and your medicine ball, obviously you have like your tape to mark your run up out and all those like basic essentials. But those are the things I've been thinking as well. And then maybe something a little bit obscure, a little bit different, maybe like some arm sleeves or something like that that cover your elbows with diving in the field as well.
yeah,
Something that just springs to mind there. It's pretty. I had the bowl once with like a dodgy elbow, and it was so uncomfortable. So bowling, with when you got scratches all on your arms and that would just not be comfortable at all. So
yeah.
I think something like that it could be pretty handy. What are some of your experiences from what the Warwickshire lads do, or any other counties that you've seen, in the distance warming up?
Well, some of the Warwickshire lads and some of the pros I've worked with, like what I consider really good ones, they don't take a chance and they have their own kit. So foam rollers, um, tape if they use a tape to measure for sure. Um, the small bands for like crab walks and things like that. The spiky ball's an interesting one. We'll come back to that one. Bands, but things like med balls, um, mats to kind of lie on if the ground is wet and stuff like that. Uh, that's kind of taken for granted from the player's point of view that it's in the S&C bag, kit bag. To be honest, the S&C kit bag is full of bloody all sorts of toys and things. But I really like players. Just I don't make a point of saying to them, but I really like players taking that responsibility and not taking things to chance because they're not always playing with us. They're not always playing in the first team or the second team. They're playing club cricket and stuff. So I'm kind of thinking, well, I think consistency is the key. So however you normally would warm up with Warwickshire, and sometimes I ask them, well, would you do that exercises so lazily, lackadaisical if you were playing for England? Well, no, probably not. Well, there's your consistent standard. However you would play or warm up with England, that's how you warm up with Warwickshire first team, second team, club, and whatever else you're playing. So some players are better than others. Um, in my bag, I mean, I don't really have S&C stuff. Maybe I used to have a tape, and players used to come along, but um, uh, that went missing a few weeks ago, so I'm not replacing it. So I'm a massive one for players taking responsibility. So go to the shop if it's that important. Go to the shop and buy one yourself. What's the spiky ball? Talk to me about that. Why is that important, and what areas of the body would you use that on?
Yeah, I wouldn't say like it's the most important thing, but it's just something nice to have. Takes up no space. It's just like a plastic spiky ball, like a
Mm.
physio would sort of have, but it's just nice to release probably like just like your muscles in your hips and your glutes. It's probably
Right.
the best one. I feel like with a foam roller, you can't quite get into those like little corners of the hip and the
Yeah.
glute median and all those sort of areas too. So I feel like that's a nice little option just to release all the muscles around the hips, and you can like get up into like your shoulder and like your sub scap as well, and get
Yeah.
into those sort of small areas in around your upper back too to release the thoracic.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think they're cool. I've had one for I've given it mine to me by physio. I got it about 2016. I've still got it in my room, so it's one of those ones you buy it once, you probably never have to buy another one again. They're probably like 10, $15. So there's no real, can't hurt carrying one, I kind of think.
I enjoy those spiky balls, just rolling my foot on them. So if I haven't got it down there, one of the boys, if they were curious about what it was and they've taken it, it's probably in their toy box. But if I'm standing here just rolling my foot on it, getting it into your glutes and hips, mate, that's sick. Because that would be so painful. But yeah,
Something else, something else coming to mind as well. So right now we're just starting pre-season and like, I'm working for like a club as well, as running a sort of private business. So a few of the boys who train with me that in the gym will train, let's say like 3:30 till 5 in the gym, and then we'll drive to club training, and then the boys will bowl, train 5:30 till 7:30.
yeah,
And so I've been doing early fishing and then going to club training as well. And we've been doing a lot of like thick bands,
yeah,
like long thick bands, and
yeah,
doing like those like some bandy accelerations,
yeah,
and even like some work with bowling and working how to jump forward and doing like some 3-step bowling with the band around the hips and trying to like project forward and get that horizontal force going and things like that as well. So I think that's something that's just popping in my head now as well. I forgot to mention having like a thick band where you can do some power based stuff and some running and some jumping with two. I reckon it's really nice.
yeah. So club bowlers, if you could pick three bits of kit that doesn't take too much room up in their kit bag, um, what would the three bits of kit be?
Ball, like a big thick like agility band, like I just said then,
Yeah,
and probably spiky ball. I reckon.
yeah, okay.
They're my three.
Okay.
You do with three?
I'll definitely med ball. Glute activation. So whether I'd go for the small bands that you put around, like kind of knee high and crab walks, I don't know, or whether that or a spiky ball. And definitely the big thick green green band for like resisted acceleration and jumps and plyometrics and stuff like that for sure. Um,
Literally I've got a big thick green band. That is exactly what I have.
yeah. Well, what weight med ball?
Well, I think I like the 4 kilo. I
Dear.
think is the sweet spot for you. What about you?
Yeah, 3 or 4K. Something that is fairly easy to move, but you can feel it.
In
Um,
my gym, I bought a 3 kilo ball and I bought a 4 kilo ball. For some reason, the 4 kilo ball feels lighter than the 3 kilo ball, and it's for the life of me. We're just rattled. We're like, this did not feel. This feels like 3 kilo. This one feels like 4 kilo.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
rattled.
interesting. What about then? If we just take, I've got a couple other things. What about um, between spells? So you've bowled your first spell, and you're in a ring, and you've been given notice that you can be starting your second spell in a couple of overs time. You request to go onto the boundary because there's some kit. Um, this is elite kind of stuff. There's not many pro bowlers that do this, but I've always been a big fan of actually having some items of kit, whether it's a med ball, probably at third man, fine leg, each end. So, you bowled one spell and you're prepping for your second spell. What sort of exercises or considerations would you say, right, a bowler needs to do this in order to nail their first ball of their second spell?
Yeah, I've got a great story about having stuff down at 5-legged dead man as well. We're playing the game Footscray, and it's really an awesome story. We like these boys that they're like, well, these lads, like it's first over of the day and like first over of the session. Well, where are these boys at? The boys rock up like just on like 1 o'clock and we go back out. Almost got a bag of macas. He's got a fillet of fish, and he's got that fine leg eating it. It was a unbelievable scenes. But he made 80 earlier on the day, so fair enough to him. But pretty sure it took 3 of our bonds will drag down off his. So if you can somehow get a fillet of fish down at fine leg on a 3 day in Melbourne, You get a med ball down there, I reckon.
Jesus.
So, wild story, just popped in my head there. So yeah, I think like the exercise, what I'll be doing is like running is obviously the most important thing. So as like in between over, let's say you're going like mid off to fine leg, like do like some run throughs, do like some A skips, um, some bounding, start to build that in. If the ball like goes down to the other side and it's a dead ball and the ball's walking back up, do some run throughs and some sprints in between balls to get yourself going running wise. Even like some pogo, some plyometrics, just get athletic again.
Yeah.
And then I reckon combination of like some shadow bowling and with some like netball slams. I reckon like some windmill slams. If you want to get like in that front foot position to do some work on like some of the netball drills as well. Go for your life, but some sort of netball variation when you're slamming it into the ground, just warm up your obliques and getting that snap through your body.
Yeah.
I reckon with the combination of the sprinting and the plyos and that, I reckon that's a nice little way to get warm in and over.
Yeah. I think, yeah. I think anything is better than nothing. And
Mm.
you go down to individuals. So I always got a stiff back. I never had any back injuries, but I used to hit the deck, do some back rotations, do some back extensions, going through your bowling action. I've got some bowlers that I'm working with now that, as soon as they get given the nod in between balls, they literally set off on a 20-meter sprint, just to activate that system. But definitely, like body weight, squat to jump, literally getting things firing up again. I think that, whatever somebody does, do something. Do something to get you moving quickly in order to get that system already up and running, even if it's not firing at 100%, but already up and running and primed in order to nail that first ball. I think that's the main important, because everyone's different. They'll all have their own kind of exercises that hit the spot, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, I reckon cricket's such a funny sport, isn't it? It's like the movements that matter are so ballistic and high intense, but
Yeah,
you got to like fire up in like a short amount of time. Like
yeah,
you go from like sitting down batting for like 2 hours, and then you have to like get up and start sprinting and rotating really fast, and
yeah,
then bowling as well. You could be at like fine leg or something, and just like standing around, not cracked a jog really for an hour, and then all of a sudden you go sprinting and bowl. So yeah, I think my motto is just like just get athletic again. Like you just whatever it is,
yeah,
usually it's a jump, a throw, and sprinting is like the three pillars of athleticism.
yeah,
Um, do those ones. Get going. Fire up the nervous system.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Interesting. What about so we go into technique a little bit, because this is where I'm really interested in working closely with S&C. So if we the skill of bowling, being behind the ball at release, either kind of leaning one way of the seam or the other in order to get the canter of the seam for swing. So in order for that to happen, there needs to be rotation, flexibility. What from an S&C? So I'm saying, right, we need to improve your skill to get lateral movement. In order to get the arm back behind you, rotate and be upright, and then that final flick. What are the kind of things, if I said to you as an S&C, I need this bowler to be in this position at release. So it's unique, right? And you would know this. You're moving forwards at the target, you're ripping down behind the ball, you've got all sorts of wrists, shoulders rotating and stuff. So at that magic moment when you are releasing the ball, if I said to you, right, this bowler gets on the inside of the ball and I need him to improve his away swinger, what are the immediate things that goes through your head? And I would come to you and say, right, I need you to help me get this bowler to understand to be in that position as opposed to just that position. What are the kind of conversations that we would have about, okay, this is how you can help me help the bowler improve his skill?
I love that. And it's like the problem solving 101, isn't it? And I reckon when it comes to someone who's like falling away, right? Often, like sometimes it can be strength. So, like, as you sort of mentioned before, it's unique to the individual. So, like, if someone's like falling away and pushing like in swingers, right? Where obviously we try and make them a bit more, a bit taller at the crease, create a bit of alignment, I suppose, so you can, get that away swinger going. Um, if they are falling away, their head's going away, why don't you look at how they run? And often you'll find that their run up might be a little bit off. They might be offline. They might be running with poor mechanics. They might be soft on their legs, probably could be laying on their heels, and that's resulting in a compensation down the chain. So I'm looking at their running mechanics, and I'll also be sort of teaching them in the gym and doing some like med ball drills as well, teaching them how to then balance over back foot contact and then keep their alignment, their head going forward towards the batter through their snap rather than going out towards cover. So I'm thinking of like those sort of drills in the gym where we get their head over back foot contact and then they snap through and forward with a med ball.
Yeah.
And just getting used to that feeling of being aligned, going straight towards the target. That's what from like a skill motor learning point of view. That's what I'm looking them to. I'm looking to improve running mechanics and then how to balance on back foot and then get momentum going forward towards the target.
Yeah.
That's some of the stuff I'm looking at. And
Yeah.
then, but other like strength exercises that I love for that is something like a barbell step up because when you've got 120 kilos on that bar, you're stepping up onto a box, you're holding that A-frame position. You need to shift your head onto that foot to then be balanced. If your head's falling away with 120 kilos, it's going to really, you're going to fall over and look like a fool in the gym. You're going to hurt yourself. So it's like an overload way to teach yourself being balanced on backwards, so you then get on the front foot a little bit nicer. So that's where I'm going. I'm thinking more of a motor skill, motor learning point of view.
Yeah.
Um, to try and get the feeling and try and get use the gym as an opportunity to teach that technique that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Alongside build strength in those areas as well. Um, and that's where you can do like some isometrics at that release position, whether it's like into a door handle or something, a door frame or something like that, where we're holding that position and just getting the feeling of that and building strength in that position that you want, as opposed to sort of falling away.
Yeah.
That's just where my mind goes at the moment.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I mean, the whole area of what is causing what I'm seeing is that's my default go-to immediately, because everything happens for a reason. I still see so many examples of, well, you're in this position, you're cutting down that side of the ball, you need to do that without providing possible answers and solutions to the problem, if it is a problem. So the whole awareness of this is being caused by something a few frames before, so you treat that. So yeah, but what if somebody has a really stiff in terms of technique? If somebody, I'm asking this more for me than anything else. I started hanging. I saw this is classic Barnes. I saw something on Instagram because I've never had back stress fractures or anything like that. But as I've gotten older, I've kept it on top of my hips, but my lower back every now and then I got a couple of mild disc bulges. So I started hanging, literally just hanging, and I suddenly started thinking, right, this is a test. This is an endurance test. So I was hanging for 2 minutes, and then I was hanging once a week, like every day. And then I was hanging once a week. What can I get on my PB? All right. But the consequence of doing all that over a period of time is that my forearms got really stiff and inflexible. All right. So if a fast bowler was doing strengthening exercises, but their forearms became big, stiff, inflexible, what kind of effects could that have on technique? Because I'm thinking, I'm going back to this position here. If this is stiff and you can't rotate it and you can't you know, for a fraction of a second get behind the ball because this is stiff and you can't quite get in the right positions. What kind of things, if I came to you and say, right, I've got this problem, forearms are a real issue, we need to release them and stuff like that. But what kind of things, what conversation will we have, do you reckon? Because I don't know.
Yeah, number one, I've never really like had someone come to me with like their forearms are too stiff before. Their wrist isn't too mobile. So that's a really unique situation that would be. But what I would say is just like any area of the body, let's look at why is it stiff. But the body's always usually when something tightens up, it's a response to protect it from something from getting injured, whether it's worried or whatever it is. So let's have a look. What are we doing for you? Maybe it's hanging every day. We might go cool. But me personally, I think hanging feels $1 million. Feels amazing. So
Yeah, yeah,
I love that. So maybe we hang, once every 2 days. Yeah, we have a day off in between. Reduce that load a little bit. And then from there, what you can do as well, what feels really nice is like getting like a barbell and you like roll it into your forearms on both sides and like
yeah,
roll it over the top. And that's a nice self release.
yeah,
And just like sort of anything, we can just work on stretching it. So having your hand out front with getting your band and like pulling your hand back or pulling your hand forward as well, get that flexion and extension of the wrist. So yeah, I think I'll be looking at that, looking at the load, looking at why is it getting stiff, and then either we need to get stronger in that area, or we need to make it more loose and loosen it up.
yeah.
That's sort of what I'm probably going to there, I reckon.
Yeah, I guess it could be any part of the body. If any part of the body is stiff, there is restrictions in there, isn't it? And we end it. Well, I know that it's really important for bowlers to be flexible because they're getting into positions for fractions of seconds, and you need these body components to be stacked up on top of each other for fractions of seconds. And because there's all these levers, there's these joints and stuff, and they have to be in position at exact moment in time. And if there's any restrictions, it can knock that chain out.
Especially like for your lats. And like if your lats are really tight, that releases like your arm position. Like you might get stuck on real low arm if you got really tight lats in the shoulder too. So keeping those loose
Yeah,
is a
yeah.
nice arm release point.
And one of the things, my mind goes immediately to lats. If all of a sudden a bowler's point of release position seems to have dropped, so the effect of a bigger, stronger but less flexible lat has on like shoulder mobility sort of thing. Am I right in thinking that?
It can, but just getting stronger doesn't reduce tightness. It's more like if you get stronger and neglect like mobility. So
Yeah.
it's not
Okay.
the strength part, it's more the fact that people probably just neglect the mobility side.
Yeah.
Uh, so and like for a cricketer who's like, serious about cricket, it'd be really, really hard to get too muscly in that position, I feel like.
Right.
Just because to get into that, like to do that many volume, you have to like train like a bodybuilder. And like, I'm not sure, like practically if that's sort of even possible with a cricket schedule. So
Yeah.
I go for the guys you're working with. I doubt, unless they're like naturally, some of those, people who just put on muscle like no tomorrow. And you're like, how on earth do you, they look at weights and they get bulky? For like someone like me, like I've been trying to massive lats. Oh, I wish my lats were too big. I've been trying. So, um, I reckon, like getting stronger and more muscle, it doesn't reduce flexibility as much, but it's more if you then stop moving it through that full range of motion, if you stop using the mobility, then it will get stiff as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Mate, I've got to shoot. What I do want to, so this call's not going to take place next week. Am I right in thinking that?
I don't think so. I don't think so. We could be off for a little while.
Okay.
For a couple of weeks, potentially.
Well, what we'll have to do then, what you let me know when you are free, because it'd be good to catch up. Maybe park ourselves up in a coffee shop and just kind of record something, just chew the fat for an hour or so. If we can kind of arrange it based on your schedule and mine.
Well, I'll definitely be keen to. So let's not rule it out yet, but I'll let you know. I'll be flexible.
Yeah.
I'll let you know on the day before.
Okay.
I could be sitting at a beach club with a couple of cocktails.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't surprise me. Say hello.
Hello.
You just got it, baby.
Yes.
He just said, "How are you?"
5.
No. He said, "How are you?"
Good.
You're 5 at the moment. When are you 6? When are you 6? Do you remember? You're 6 in September, aren't you?
Yeah.
Love it.
Right, mate. You got my number, so safe travels. Give me a shout. Give me a shout when you're over here and when you kind of settled or whatever. All right.
Awesome, man. Sounds good. Enjoy. Have a great day.
Yeah. Good to catch up. Catch you later. Cheers. See ya.
Daddy.
I hope you enjoyed that. Loads of things still to recover. Say hello, Seb.
Hello.
This will be sent through across for you to have a look at. I hope you enjoy it.
Daddy.
Yeah.
Good. Now what's